allegiance will be led by Commissioner Brian Gerke, so if you'd please stand and join us.
Bow your heads for a moment. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day, even with the rain. We thank you for this opportunity to meet as a commission and to hear from the citizens of this great city. We ask for your wisdom and guidance in the decisions and discussions we have. And may your love guide us throughout our day. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Welcome to the Planning Commission of June 10th, 2021. We are now called to order. Before we get too far away, though, I have an announcement. Item number 3 on the agenda has been withdrawn. It was withdrawn by the applicant, so we will not have any conversations about that. We encourage you to wear your mask while you're inside, unless you're speaking at the... Whoa. I'm a little too close this time, aren't I?
Possibly.
Sorry. Sometimes I'm too close, sometimes I'm too far. Anyway, the hearing room is set up for a maximum of 40 people. Please respect the limit and do not add any chairs. The lobby and outdoors are overflow areas. I don't know if it's raining still. The meeting is broadcast on the big screen in the lobby, though, so if you need to go out there, you can hear everything. Once you have spoken, if you are here to speak on an item, please exit the room so that others can sit and wait their turn to speak. If you intend to speak on an item, please sign the appropriate page at the table in the back now. When your name is called, please come to the podium. You will restate your name and give us your address. Address your comments to the Planning Commission, not to the audience. Any questions you ask will be answered once everyone who has signed up has spoken. We understand you may have strong feelings one way or another, but out of courtesy, unless it is your turn to speak, please remain silent. Please refrain from applauding, cheering, booing, or any other verbal outbursts. And this is a fact-finding hearing. There is no need to repeat what has already been said. If a previous speaker stated the point you wish to make, you may simply acknowledge that when it is your turn to speak. Each applicant will have 5 minutes to speak, and the other speakers will have 3 minutes, so please respect that time limit. Mr. Stoddard, would you please call the roll?
Ramick. Hobby.
Present.
Erickson.
Present.
Stafford.
Present.
Baker.
Present.
Gerke.
Present.
Goldsmith.
Present.
White.
Present.
Walker.
Present.
Janet.
Present. Thank you. And first of all, may I have a motion for approval of last month's minutes?
So moved.
And may I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. Now, may I have a motion for approval of tonight's agenda without item number 3? All in favor say aye.
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 Oh, I needed a first and a second,
Yeah.
don't I? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, dear. First of all, I need a first. Okay, could I have a motion for approval?
Approve.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
I always skip that part. Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. The agenda is approved. The next item on tonight's agenda is the consent agenda. Items placed in this section are applications which demonstrate compliance with all applicable city requirements. These items shall not involve discussion by the Planning Commission or the public. The consent agenda will be voted on in one motion. However, if any 2 commissioners so desire, individual items may be discussed and are voted on as a separate matter of business. They will be moved to the new business section. Are there 2 commissioners that would wish to move the item that we have on the consent agenda?
Madam Chairman, is there anyone signed up to speak on this item?
No.
No.
Okay.
If not, may I have a motion for approval of tonight's consent agenda?
So moved.
So,
May I have a second?
second.
I think we have to vote, don't we? This is where I
It's a
always
roll
forget.
call vote.
You can vote just
Aye.
by
Okay.
yes.
All in favor of approval with staff recommendations, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Should have spoken up earlier. Ms. Director Selman, will you please read the consent agenda?
Yes, thank you. The item number 1 is a conditional use, a request for a solar-powered, climate-controlled self-storage facility with electric charging station located at 759 Carpenter Dam Road, also addressed as 1000 Shady Grove Road. The applicant, or the application is recommended for approval with a number of conditions. I will read those conditions into the record. Staff recommendation is approval of the proposed self-storage facility with 11 conditions. Number 1, all construction and construction activity are to be accomplished in strict accordance with all applicable approval conditions and with the minimum standards, codes, rules, and regulations and policies as may now or hereafter be required or enacted by the City of Hot Springs, the State of Arkansas, and/or the United States of America, including the Arkansas Fire Prevention Code, whether or not submitted for staff review or Planning Commission approval. Number 2, the development site shall be constructed and developed in strict accordance with the approved site and development plan, including but not limited to location of buildings, drives, parking, and landscaping. Number 3, all site features, open spaces, and landscaping will be maintained and repaired where necessary by the owner. Number 4, separate permit applications shall be made by the applicant to Hot Springs Engineering Department, and permits shall be in hand for stormwater, drainage, and sidewalks as may be required prior to any work beginning. Number 5, no development signs are approved or permitted as part of this conditional use review. A separate sign permit application, review, approval, and the permit shall be required prior to installation of any signs on the site. Number 6, all exterior lighting shall be fully downcast and full cutoff and shall contain all illumination on the subject property. Lighting shall be positioned so as not to create a nuisance to any adjacent properties. Number 7, this use and activity shall not impose any undue hardship or nuisance upon the nearby neighborhood. Number 8, the city's 36-inch pressure sewer force main and its easement shall be shown on the plans prior to building permit issuance. Number 9, a note shall be added on the plan stating that discharge of the detention pond shall not exceed the pre-development runoff amount prior to building permit issuance. Number 10, the detention pond cannot be located in the special flood hazard area. Base flood elevations will need to be determined for this location. Elevation certificates for the structures demonstrating outside the special flood hazard area shall be submitted and approved prior to building permit issuance. And number 11, the applicant has an affirmative responsibility to demonstrate ongoing compliance with the conditions of this approval. Violation of any of these conditions so imposed shall constitute grounds for revocation or modification of this conditional use permit by the Planning Commission per Hot Springs Code Section 16-279. And that completes the item.
Thank you, ma'am. The consent agenda is approved, and it is item number 1 that is approved by the previous vote. The next item on tonight's agenda is new business. There will be an opportunity for the applicant and for the public who has signed up to provide testimony. Director Selman, would you please introduce the next item?
Thank you. Excuse me, thank you. Item number 2 is a rezone request, RZ 21062, a request to change the zone from R4 to M1 located on Cherokee and Winona streets.
Thank you. A motion to approve merely gets the matter on the floor for discussion. A motion to approve and a second do not mean that you are necessarily in favor of a particular application, this one. May I have a motion for approval of item number 2?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Planning Commissioners, please hold your questions until everyone has presented presentations and statements and questions. Director Selman, would you please present the staff report on item number 2?
Thank you. The applicant and property owner, Mr. Marty Coco, seeks a zone change consideration to M1 Light Manufacturing for property located at the corner of Winona Street and Cherokee Street. The subject property is currently zoned R4, medium, high-density residential. It has a future land use plan map designation of residential medium high and is located in Board of Directors, District Number 2. This is an approximately 1/2 acre site. It's on the northwest corner of Winona and Cherokee. It's currently undeveloped. Adjacent properties are zoned M1, light manufacturing, to the west and south, CTR, Commercial Transitional District, to the east, and R4, medium high-density residential, to the north. Adjacent land uses include commercial office and storage, Radius Aerospace Manufacturing Facility, a commercial bus parking lot for First Step, and a single-family residential area to the north. Other nearby land uses include, but aren't limited to, youth baseball, First Step facility, restaurant, office, and vehicle sales. Notice was provided to property owners within 200 feet. Notice of the hearing was posted on a sign at the property, and notice of the hearing was published in the Sentinel Record. Okay. The narrative submitted by the applicant demonstrated that the zone change demonstrates compatibility with the surrounding development and zoning, which is a mandatory finding by the Hot Springs Code, Section 16-11E. That code section also states that Planning Commission shall make recommendations to the Board of Directors, setting forth the basis for its recommendation. Tonight, Planning Commission will be making a recommendation to the Board of Directors, and the board will make the final decision on this application at a future meeting. The findings with regard to the request: first, the request for land use plan map amendment is that the subject property has a future land use plan map designation of residential medium high, and adjacent M1 light manufacturing zone property to the west and south have future land use plan map designations of industrial. Therefore, the recommendation to Planning Commission is to amend the future land use plan map from residential medium high to industrial, consistent with surrounding industrial zones. With regard to the request to amend the zoning map, the finding is that there is a basis for recommendation to the Board of Directors that the proposed change demonstrates compatibility with surrounding development and zoning. And consequently, the recommendation with regard to the zoning map amendment is that Planning Commission recommend that the Board of Directors adopt an ordinance amending the zoning map by designating the subject property M1 Light Manufacturing District as requested, because Planning Commission has made a specific finding that the proposed change demonstrates compatibility with surrounding development and zoning. And that concludes the presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Will the applicant please come forward? And if you will, sir, please give us your name and address.
Richard Dunn, 2608 Malvern, District 6.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add to the information
we're
Director
just
Selman gave us?
Like you read it there, it's just going to be a kind of a storage bin. We mess with restored collector cars and stuff like that, so that's really all it's for. So, but it will be a nice building. We're going to put a real 6,000 foot building there, real tall, 18-foot tall building, and so I think it will fit in with the area. So
Okay.
anyway.
Thank you, sir. We'll call you back if we have any questions.
We took the one which was just a rag of a building at the corner of a valley and building there,
Mhm.
and that is another building that we've renovated a while back, and so
It's an interesting expression, rag of a building. I like that.
it was. I mean, it had gypboard
Oh, I've
flaking
never
off,
heard
and
that.
lean-to on the back, rusty pipe, but anyway.
Okay.
but anyway,
Don't leave, we might have questions.
okay.
Thank you. Has anybody signed up to speak? No? Okay. Anybody have questions for Mr. Dunn?
What was his name?
Mr. Dunn?
Mr. Dunn, Richard Dunn.
Richard Dunn?
We're on new business number 2, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the
It says the
partner.
applicant's Marty Coco, so is this
He's the
qualify?
partner.
Are you a
He's the
partner?
Okay.
Mr. Coco couldn't be present, so he's here representing the
Okay,
applicant.
I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure.
Does anybody have any questions?
I don't.
No questions? And nobody has signed up? Okay, then we will close the public portion and see if commissioners would like to have a chat. Okay, Ladante, you don't have any questions or anything to say? No? Okay. Baker Goldsmith? Nothing? Okay. Michelle Baker? No. No questions. Carrie?
No questions, thank you.
Brian?
No questions?
No. Brian?
No, ma'am.
Bart?
Comfortable with the recommendation.
Lori?
Same.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve item 2. The staff report findings and recommendation are to approve. Mr. Stoddard, would you please call the roll?
Hobby,
Approve.
Erickson,
Approve.
Stafford,
Approve.
Baker,
Approve.
Gerke,
Approve.
Goldsmith,
Approve.
White,
Approve.
Walker,
Approve.
Janet.
Approve.
Okay, the Planning Commission's recommendation for approval has been approved, and the final decision will be made by not by Planning Commission, by the Board of Directors at the first meeting in July. And Rick, do you have a calendar there to, I'm thinking it might be the 2nd.
Let's see here.
You're not going to take off
It's
for
the
the
first, I
holidays?
think. 6th. That's what I meant to say. Thursday.
Huh.
We meet on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is it the
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 6th
The
is a
6th.
Tuesday. yeah.
Okay.
The first is probably a holiday.
6 o'clock in this room. Board of Directors will make the final decision, and someone should be present to represent the item.
Mr. Dunn or
July
Mr. Coco?
6th. Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the director's report.
I have only one thing to report, and that is that here we are. This is our first everybody here meeting. We've been Zooming, I think, for 15 months. And so some of you I don't even recognize without the little square around your head. So I was thinking, probably I'm not the only one who feels that way. So I thought we could just kind of go around the table and just kind of say your name and a little bit about who you are so your fellow commissioners can get to know you. Let's start with LaDante.
Okay. I'm LaDante Walker. I am a targeted case manager here for Spire Independent Living Services. Of course, I sit on this board on transportation, and I sit on 2 commission seats for the state of Arkansas.
Can't find anything to do with your spare time, huh?
Bart Stafford, for Commissioner for District 3. We live on Prospect Avenue. Really delighted to live in the historic district. It's a wonderful place to be. Glad to be on this board. I also serve on the board of Preserve Arkansas, which is a statewide historic preservation organization. Looking forward to getting to know everyone better.
Thank you.
Carrie Hobby, I work at Oaklawn. I moved here really to get closer to my family because my mom and dad train racehorses, and I just got gifted into this committee, this commission. It's just wonderful. In Kansas City, I owned a restaurant, and I've always been very intricately involved in the going on of who comes into the community, and it's been awesome to learn why we want them here and how they fit. And I didn't know that there was a board of citizens that said no if it didn't fit within the community. And I just really adored my time, 6 years really as an
Yeah.
alternate. Got to get Wayne out of there, but I'm District 5. I live in the Tri-Vista area. And when I moved here, they said the city was growing. I've just seen it pop in the last 3 years, and every day there's something new. The Bridge Street Live, that's just wow.
Yeah, I don't hear them.
Oh, they're there.
Oh,
So I'm just excited to be here.
we're glad to have you.
Yeah. Brian?
Brian White. I'm the representative from District 4. I'm in my 3rd term here on the Planning Commission, which means I'll be timing out at the end of this term. Unlike Carrie, who gets to start 9 years.
I don't
No,
think so.
she's only got 3.
I only got 3 left.
I work at CHI St. Vincent, which is why I continue to wear my mask. In my spare time, I'm kind of a historical research nut. Just as an aside to those of you who know me and know what's been going on, my wife this week received the official proclamation proclaiming our city cemetery as a National Historic
That is
Place.
outstanding.
Yes.
Congratulations.
It was a 5-year battle to get that thing from a just densely overcrowded wooded place to the National Register. But there are over 1,000 souls over there who will finally get some dignity.
That's
That's
outstanding.
really nice work.
Well, that's about it.
I'm Hillary with the weird name. We fell in love with Hot Springs in 1983, finally got to move back here in 2010. And I'm going to term out, unless I can figure out a way to be an alternate or something. I'm the county representative.
That's right.
Kathy keeps telling me no.
We do have 2 representatives of unincorporated Garland County who live within the adopted planning area. So that sets our planning commission apart from many who only have residents within the city limits. So I think that's pretty cool.
Our town is a bit different than.
Well, yes, we are. We are
Yeah,
definitely
very
different.
unique.
So, I'm Kathy Selman. I'm the Planning and Development Director for the city. I'm finishing up my 15th year,
Whoa.
and I know, I still feel new.
That's amazing.
I
Good,
know.
you've only got 25
I'd
more
have
to
said
go.
8 or 9.
No, 15.
Yeah, 15.
Wow.
Yeah. So 14, maybe it's 14.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's 90. I don't know. Some days. But I have lived in a whole bunch of places all around the country and grew up in New England, have worked in Colorado. I was there for about 25 years. Also worked in Washington, Oregon, and Nebraska, and really happy to be here.
I'm Brian Gerke. I own Gerke Commercial Real Estate here in Hot Springs. Moved our family down here about 18 years ago for a business opportunity. Probably the best decision ever made. It was very, very tough leaving family, but Hot
Didn't they
Springs is
follow
my
you?
home.
Mine
Pardon?
all followed me. Didn't they follow you?
No.
I moved here for my
No.
family. Yeah.
They
so.
stayed and that was good. You know, hour and 15 minutes away.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad. Represent District 6. You know, we develop, sell, do everything you can imagine, manage in commercial real estate. Got turned off of the BZA and the BAA in the planning department. And Kathy just strong-armed me into signing up.
She's
So-
not big and mean like that.
That's
So I
okay,
had no
Brian.
choice.
She strong-armed me into taking your place.
On the BZA?
Yeah.
Really? Did you do that?
Well,
Maybe.
wow, maybe.
That's good. But anyway, great to be here and great to be with y'all.
I'm Baker Goldsmith. My husband and I own the Golden Motel up on Park Avenue. We moved here in 2018. We do love it. The Gold Inn is for sale, though we are not planning to leave. We live on Edgewood Street, just up the street. So if anyone is interested in buying a motel,
Gotta get you with Amber Henson.
Talk to Brian Gucci.
There's a
I hear he's a
realtor
commercial
right
real
there.
estate
Find
guy.
a
if you know
buyer.
anyone looking, yeah, that's pretty. I moved up here from Houston. Big change, but I love it up here.
Yeah, just as an aside, I think we met very briefly when we were both investigating opportunities
Yeah.
at a bank here. Yeah,
Like neither of us had moved here, but we were both talking about
Yeah,
it.
both
We were
moved from
like, "Oh, we're
Houston
both
at the
from
same-
Houston,
about the
right?"
same time.
Like,
That's funny.
Well, very
Houston
small
is
world.
gigantic. I didn't realize
from
how
Dallas.
big it was.
Yeah.
Consumes Dallas, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my name is Michelle. I'm a lifelong resident of Garland County. My dad was I think the longest sitting judge in Garland County. It's David Schweitzer, and he passed away a few years ago. And my sister was just elected to his position last spring. So the city's been wonderful to us, and I'm here to serve.
Yay.
I work for the Department of Education in Little Rock, where I'm a special projects coordinator. I just started that job. I came from Henderson, where I was a professor and director of the STEM Center. I have 4 kids, 16 to, I don't even want to tell you, my oldest one's going to be 30 this summer.
Oh, wow. You can coach me how to get through 13.
Oh, well, you know, my 2
Duct
oldest are
tape.
girls, my 2 youngest are boys. Boys, it's so much easier. I have
Well, I just
bad
watched the
memories
girls.
of the girls when they were teenagers, but now it's kind of smooth sailing. I have my 2nd grandbaby on the way.
Aw.
So me and my husband both work in Little Rock, but we won't move over there because we love Hot Springs so much.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
Michelle, just as an aside, I didn't know that you were David Schweitzer's daughter.
yes, sir.
He's been a lifelong family friend in my wife's family, and I had the honor of serving as a volunteer in his courtroom for
Oh.
5 years.
Nice. So
I
now
loved
you
your
need to go
dad.
hit my sister up. She's like, I would say she's cut from the same cloth as my dad.
That's married a
I've heard
son.
of
Yeah,
that
she
saying,
might be
yeah.
a little more fiery than my dad, though, if you can imagine.
Fiery than your
Fire,
dad?
yes, yes. So go try to volunteer for her. It'd
No
be
thanks.
fun and exciting.
I'm too old for that kind of fire.
Imagine being part of that family growing up.
Oh, gosh.
So it was wonderful.
Well, it's not one story. One of my favorite stories is about your dad. Was that when my mother-in-law was dying of cancer in 2011, he came by the house and came in and visited her and sat with her and everything. And then he wanted to stick around and mow the lawn and do everything that needed to be
Yeah.
done around the house. That's just the kind of man your dad was.
He was a servant.
Yep.
Very much so.
Okay, one more.
Lori Erickson. I was born and raised in South Dakota, and then I drove down to Texas and fell in love with Austin. I spent most of my time in Austin. I did a stint in Sugar Land for a year, and I did 3 years in Dallas, but Austin is still by far my favorite. And one of the things that attracted me here was how similar this town is to how Austin used to be. It's eclectic,
be.
it's lively.
Used to be.
Yeah, like in back in 1990. You know, it has
I'm
that
just saying,
same feel,
this is
the
our-
same
we're hitting
artist.
growth.
I used to
see
live
so
there,
many
too.
similarities.
Oh, I do too.
And
I
I
do
love
too.
the expression in Austin, keep Austin weird.
Yes,
This
that
is,
yes.
it
That's
fits
how-
here.
We are a mold of so many different citizens here, and I
Yes.
love it.
I just
Yes.
hope we don't get like Austin has gotten.
Well,
Austin has
and-
outgrown itself.
And you know, that's
Before we
that.
go there,
I went.
Well, you know
we
that
are
that
still recording. We might
well
want
okay,
to
so-
adjourn the meeting
Yes,
and
yes,
continue
I'm
the
sorry.
discussion.
Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to be on the commission too is just having seen that growth and knowing what